Coming up on 5-Minute News. Biden urges Congress to avert devastating rail strike. Qatar World Cup chief admits hundreds of migrant workers died in projects linked to tournament. And Houston lifts boil water order for more than 2 million. It's Wednesday, November 30. I'm Sunta Templeton. The US House of Representatives plans to vote to block a potential US rail strike after President Joe Biden warned of the dire economic consequences of a disruption that could happen as early as December 9. Biden has warned of a catastrophic economic impact if railroad services ground to a halt, saying up to 765,000 Americans could be put out of work in the first 2 weeks alone. US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said lawmakers will vote to impose a tentative contract deal struck in September. "We must avoid a strike," she said, after a meeting with Biden. At a White House meeting with congressional leaders, the Democratic president was asked if he was confident he could avert a rail strike and responded, "I am." Biden said lawmakers had to move quickly, though, because the economy is at risk. Workers in 4 unions have rejected the tentative deal after criticising the lack of paid sick leave, while workers in 8 unions have approved it. A rail traffic stoppage could freeze almost 30% of US cargo shipments by weight, stoke already surging inflation, and cost the American economy as much as $2 billion per day by unleashing a cascade of transport woes affecting US energy and agriculture. A top Qatari official involved in the country's World Cup organisation has put the number of worker deaths for the tournament between 400 and 500 for the first time, drastically higher than any other number previously offered by Doha. The comment by Hassan al-Tawadi, the Secretary-General of Qatar's Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, threatened to reinvigorate criticism by human rights groups over the toll of hosting the Middle East's first World Cup for the migrant labour that built more than $200 billion worth of stadiums, metro lines, and new infrastructure. "One death is a death too many, plain and simple," al-Tawadi added. That figure has not been discussed publicly by Qatari officials previously. Reports from the Supreme Committee, dated from 2014 through the end of 2021, only include the deaths of workers involved in building and refurbishing the stadiums now hosting the World Cup. Those released figures put the total number of deaths at 40. In a later statement, the Supreme Committee said al-Tawadi was referring to national statistics covering the period of 2014 to 2020 for all work-related fatalities nationwide in Qatar, covering all sectors and nationalities. Qatar has relied on an army of migrant workers, mostly from South Asia and Africa, since FIFA awarded the tournament to the country in 2010. Authorities have taken some steps to overhaul the employment practices, including adopting a minimum monthly wage and required food and housing allowances for employees not receiving those benefits from employers. Activists have called on Doha to do more, particularly when it comes to ensuring workers receive their salaries on time and are protected from abusive employers. Houston officials have lifted an order that had called for more than 2 million people in the nation's 4th largest city to boil their tap water before drinking or using it. The boil order had been in effect since Sunday, when a power outage at a purification plant caused pressure to drop. The order led to the closure of businesses and schools, including the Houston Independent School District, which cancelled classes on Monday and Tuesday. The city said water quality samples sent to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality confirmed the tap water now meets the standards needed and is safe to drink. At a news conference, Mayor Sylvester Turner said the city issued the notice in an abundance of caution after 2 transformers, a main one and its backup, uniquely and coincidentally failed at a water plant. The problem affected the plant's ability to treat and pump water into the transmission system, resulting in low pressure. Typically, there is enough pressure for water to flow out of leaky pipes. When pressure is lost, however, contamination like bacteria sitting near pipes can be sucked into the system, creating a health risk.
You can subscribe to 5-Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5-Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.